There are two more important points. They're linked to this. The survey has also asked opinion on India-China engaging more closely. Remember, Prime Minister goes to the SCO to China in a few days from now.
Today.
Strengthens India's position globally, 52%. India-China engage more closely, strengthen. Look at how the world is changing. The same China that was seen to be fused with the Pakistan military during Operation Sindoor weakens India's security interests, 26%, no significant impact, 13%. Maria has already given the numbers. If US increases support to Pakistan, how should India respond? Strengthens ties with other allies like Russia, 59%, increased military readiness, 29%, seek dialogue with Pakistan, 6%. But Gaurav Samant, till the other day you were calling China the big enemy, that we have to take on the Chinese. Now we are about to go and embrace the Chinese. I hope we are not going on a jhula again, but the fact is we are going to China and we are embracing them, and the public is saying, yes, this will strengthen our position globally. So now you see America is the big bully, and our enemy in the neighborhood we want to embrace.
My enemy is always a friend.
But enemy is enemy. China is having its own relationship being built with the Trump administration on the other hand.
That's exactly, Rajdeep, where you see the global Chakravyuh, things are changing so fast across the world.
Gaurav Samant is changing fast. No longer you see China as the main enemy.
My show is India First, and I always look at Indian interests first.
So India First is now tying up, moving closer to China in your view?
In case China...
Moving closer to Putin in your view?
Putin always. Russia always.
Okay.
Russia has always been... Look, a friend in need is a friend indeed.
Okay.
Right? Russians have been close to India throughout. Since our independence, since Indira Gandhi's 1971 operations, since Kargil War of 1999. So India-Russia relationship has withstood the test of time.
And China?
China, Wang Yi came to India. Wang Yi, the Chinese foreign minister and member of Politburo, he made it very clear, Rajdeep, that they have realized that animosity with India was not in the interest of the two people.
4 months ago, the Chinese were fully fueled.
That's a reality. That's a reality you have to live with. So, if I may, permit me to finish my point. Yes. The point is, world equation is changing. It's a changing geopolitical equation. You have to see Bharat ka fayda. Where do you get the maximum interest?
Real politics.
Real politics.
No, your survey also shows that.
Survey shows that public is very
Public
clear.
has no problem with if you deal with China
I tell you,
anymore.
public is very clear. Number one, institutional memory of public about Russia-India friendship is very high. Very well. And I was taken to a surprise because 80% of Indian electorate right now was born after the 71 war.
Yes. And after the
so
treaty,
I was
Soviet
thinking
treaty.
this would not be in the public memory. But it was, number one. Number two,
China?
during the Sindoor in the PSC, Preeti, you remember, we even asked about China and the Pakistan. During the conflict, majority of the Indians said, Pakistan hai nahi ladai mein, it is actually the China whom we are fighting.
Correct.
It is a single front. So as far as public is concerned, public is like, you know, earlier
No, but now 52% are saying we should engage with China.
Let me finish.
52% are saying engage with China. The same country was saying which was striking us during Sindoor.
Let me finish. Earlier, these kind of discussions were limited to studios and the experts of the diplomacy and the and other fields. Now, the common man on the street is very clear. China remains an adversary. Okay? Russia remains a friend. America remains something which we have to be extremely careful about. We are not comfortable. As long as, just like Gaurav said, as long as on the India First policy, if it happens to be that we shake hand with China in order to stand up to bully right now, people are okay with that. That doesn't mean people are saying trust China.
Okay.
Hell no.
Point
Do not trust China.
Preeti and then Maria, go ahead.
Yeah.
You know, I actually,
and then Pranav.
you know, Rajdeep, the fact is with all the categories that Yashwant just named, the line gets blurred somewhere, and I'll tell you when it gets blurred. Because you had Siddharth who says, somebody who's getting fuel filled in their motorcycle doesn't quite care whether it's coming from Russia or any other country, but they are, you know, pleased with the fact that we are looking a bully in the eye. We often forget of the last man standing in the queue. And that person reminded us in the last 2024 election who she or he is. And I'll give you an example there. Because have this conversation 3 months from now, if there is a trickle-down effect to a person who's on a dhyadi basis in a textile unit in Banaras or in Karnal. When they are laid off, they don't care whether we are looking at somebody in the eye. They are bothered that their dhyadi for the day is not coming. So therefore, we need economic policy. One second. Let me finish my point.
The 80 crore people that India feeds, the 80 crore people that India has fed out of your tax and my tax and her tax, that money is our civilizational ethos. The last man in the line should be fed.
I will counter that. Allow me to counter that.
Instead of buying Make in America or Made in Europe, when she buys more Made in India, when you and I buy more Made in India, it helps the last man.
Swadeshi, yes, very quickly, let Preeti respond. Quickly.
You know, let me just give you an example, right? I will hark back to 2024 elections in UP, especially in Eastern UP. What was one of the main, which was, which only I would think the ground reporters tapped on? Galla mil raha hai. Galla is free ration. Galla mil raha hai, naukri nahi hai. The minute that naukri goes, you can, what are you going to do with Swadeshi? Yeah, she can't or he can't afford like 2 square meals a day.
That's where every Indian needs to come forward.
We need policies. We need to look the bully in the eye. But look the bully in the eye. But come up with strong economic policies.
We can't keep breastfeeding and say, let's not shout at each other. Let's not shout at each other. Let's talk to each other. The fact at the end of the day is if I'm losing my job in a toy factory or a small garments factory, I'm not interested in looking the bully in the eye as much as how will I get my job at the earliest. In that sense, Pranav, in that sense, you track diplomacy. Are diplomats and those in government aware, diplomats in particular, aware that, looking at the US, the bully in the eye may look very good, may grab you headlines, Swadeshi 2.0, it's going to have to translate into reality on the ground in ensuring that jobs are protected.
Absolutely.
Are they aware of that?
They are aware about this.
That you can't allow the rhetoric to spiral out of control.
No, look, it's not about rhetoric. It's not about rhetoric.
But last 24 hours we are talking Swadeshi 2.0. I'm hearing an Aam Aadmi Party MLA say, I'm going to boycott all US products.
But that is one particular MP. But this country was much poorer when we stood up against the mightiest British Empire. Much poorer than this situation. Having said that, this remains a concern. Take the example, we also have to take it into account that the states which are going to get impacted by these tariff sanctions, Andhra Pradesh, take the example of Andhra Pradesh, which is governed by Chandrababu Naidu.
With a lot of shrimp export.
Shrimp doesn't have the shelf life like of textile or jewelry. It is very perishable commodity. Around 32% of our export, shrimp export, goes to United States. It is going to get impacted. This is worth about $2 billion. This will impact us. That's why Prime Minister said that I am going to stand for my small farmers, my fishermen. This has to be protected.
How? The question is how. You see, I come back to this. Just a minute, sir.
No, we have
the reason, I'll tell you why.
Is it being targeted against those states which can be politically sensitive?
Okay.